and welcome to this edition of HCS Matters. I'm John Wright, Director of Public Relations for Hardin County Schools, and I am blessed, really, to be around these 8 or 9 wonderful young ladies. We're here at Heartland Elementary School, and later in the day, we're taping this on November the 1st, and later in the day, these folks, along with their parents and lots of other folks, will be packing up boxes and sending them to Houston, Texas, in this initiative that these young ladies have come up with. Is called Teaming Up for Texas Teachers. And what the program did was collect school supplies for a school and a couple other schools in Houston, Texas that were pretty much decimated by Hurricane Harvey. So these young ladies came up with it. They're going to talk with us about what they did to come up with Teaming Up for Texas Teachers. So to my right, and we'll go from my right to my left, we have Kennedy Johnson from Lincoln Trail, Molly Parrish from Lincoln Trail, Anna Mae Atcher, and Parker Lally from Lincoln Trail. And there's more than Lincoln Trail folks here, I promise. There's Harper Robbins from Lincoln Trail, Faith Goodman from Heartland Elementary, Maddie Miller from G.C. Burkhead Elementary, Jennings Johnson from Lincoln Trail, and then Taylor Barno from Heartland Elementary. So, and as you can tell, as a proud father of 3 girls, I am so glad that it's all girls that have initiated this idea and have seen it to completion. So Kennedy, tell me about your role with what your favorite part maybe of Teaming Up for Texas Teachers has been.
Helping scanning books.
Helping scanning books. So when you say that, what did you do when you scanned books?
We sorted them.
Oh, you sorted them? Okay. All right. Good deal. All right, pass it on to Molly. Molly, what was your favorite part? There's lots of things that came together here.
Being a part of it.
Okay. Any certain aspect of being a part of it?
Not really,
Not
but
really.
like helping it.
Okay. All right. All right, Anna Mae, what was your what was the best part of this whole program?
Probably like sorting school supplies and books.
Okay. All right. All right. Give it over to Parker.
Knowing that we could help the kids in Texas.
Okay. So all of you have been in on this from the very beginning. What drove you to come up with this idea? What drove you guys to come up with this program to help with these?
What I thought of was that the kids in Texas, they were like us, but they just got affected with a very bad natural disaster, and I knew that they would try to help us if we were in that same position. So I thought that it would be good to help them.
Okay, good deal. Thank you, Parker. All right, Ms. Harper Robbins, what was your favorite part of helping with this program?
My favorite part was scanning the books and sorting them.
Scanning and sorting. Okay, good deal. That seems to be a popular answer. All right, Faith, what was the best part you thought?
My favorite part was sorting the school supplies.
Okay, so sorting. Okay, all right, that's a popular answer. Maddie, what was the best part for you?
My favorite part was making the boxes.
Making boxes. Okay, so you like packing them?
No, we would Micah would go and get Burger King boxes, and then we would me and Sadie would tape them in their positions.
Okay.
And then the girls would pack them, and then we'd tape them back.
Okay, good deal. Jennings, what was the best part for you?
Sorting the school supplies and books.
Sorting. Okay. All right, Taylor, what was your best part?
My favorite part was making the logo.
You made the logo. That's right. And so you made it. Okay. And CJ maybe can zoom in on one of somebody's shirt here when we're talking about this. Talk about what ideas you had when coming up for that Teaming Up for Texas Teachers logo.
So whenever we had our first meeting, they asked us to make a logo, and then a few days later, my mom asked me if I wanted to make the logo, and by that time, I really wanted to have the Texas, the outline of Texas, and I thought that'd be really cool. And then my dad suggested to add like the colors, like half of it's blue, then parts of it, a fourth of it's red, and then how that has the star into blue.
So why did you need a logo, do you think?
Because if we didn't have a logo, then if we just hanged up a poster, they wouldn't really know what it was for. And the logo like shows that it's for this group.
Okay, good deal. So I'll ask this question kind of a different way to all of you. So talk about what was the most difficult part. We talked about your favorite part. So what has been the most challenging or maybe difficult part of this?
I think the hardest part was like collecting the supplies.
Collecting. Okay. All right. What do you think, Jennings, was the hardest?
The most difficult part,
Yeah.
I think, was collecting all the supplies.
Okay. Why? There's two of you who have said that. Why was it difficult? Why was that part difficult?
I think it was most difficult because most of the parents didn't want to buy school supplies because they may have thought that we were just doing it for ourselves, but we weren't.
Right.
We were
okay.
doing it actually for Texas.
Right. Right. And school supplies in October
Yeah.
probably a little harder to come
Yeah.
by than in July, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Faith. What was your
Collecting the school supplies.
That was collecting. Okay. Is that going to be the most popular answer? Is collecting the school supplies? That was everybody's most difficult part?
Yeah.
Okay. So Harper, we're going to ask you maybe a different question. I think maybe you came in on this project a little bit later than everybody else. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what was it hard to catch up for everybody?
No, not really.
No, it wasn't hard to catch up?
Mm-mm.
So everybody kind of accepted you and you jumped right in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good deal. All right. Parker, talk about collecting supplies was difficult. Why do you think that was difficult?
I think it was difficult, kind of like what Maddie said. Maybe the parents couldn't really find supplies or didn't really want to buy the supplies. But it was also kind of hard to do the charts and keep up with and counting all of the supplies that we collected.
So let's just pass it on to Anna Mae. How did you guys do that? How did you guys keep count and keep everything sorted?
We just went around our school and we collected school supplies and we just kept track of them on a clipboard and
Okay.
for each class.
Okay. Did you use like a big old Excel spreadsheet or computer and all that stuff?
At Lincoln Trail, we had a big chart where it was each class had like their own little space, and every day after we would collect, we would color in how much they had, and we would actually do it color code like a rainbow, and it was really cool. And so then whenever the kids walked into school, they could see like how their class was doing and see if they needed to bring in more supplies because another class was beating them or something.
Okay, good. So it's kind of like a competition at Lincoln Trail, sounds like.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think at Heartland they did something else.
What you guys, okay, let's pass it on back down to Faith. What did you guys do at Heartland?
Well, we kept track of it on the computer. We would count the school supplies for each classroom, and then we type in the number, and then at the end we're going to tell, well, it's already over, but the class that wins gets a treat, and we just keep track of it, and it tells us the total amount of each classroom in the
Okay.
doc.
Okay. So Kennedy, talk to us about, this program is pretty big for you guys. Talk about, were you surprised at what you were able to do?
Yes.
Why were you so surprised? Okay, well, think about that, and we'll get back to you. Okay, Ollie, why were you so surprised that you guys were able to? You have 9 pallets, 4,000 pounds of supplies. Were you surprised at being able to collect that many?
Yes.
Why did it get so big, do you think?
Because they maybe have thought that, oh, I didn't realize that, maybe we should help.
Okay, all right. Anna Mae, why do you think this got so big so fast?
I just thought that like people may have heard about how like damaging Hurricane Harvey was to Texas, and they just wanted to help and give school supplies.
Okay. Parker, talk about your all's, obviously you all had to market this plan, right? You all had to get the word out. How did you all do that?
Well, kind of like our logo and how we like came together was the teamwork, and I think all 4 schools together. That's why we got so many supplies. And also we had the Sicilian Bank, Colonial Interiors, Homes, Jones Home Center, and a lot of other businesses were setting up booths, and people, because we were in the newspaper, and a lot of people heard about that, and they started donating to those businesses.
Okay. So Harper, talk about how you all got the word out at Lincoln Trail. What was the...
Well, at Lincoln Trail, we had papers, and we sent them out. And at the beginning, no one was really paying attention to it, but then they started paying attention to it, and we got a lot of stuff. And so now our chart is almost full.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right. How did you all, Faith at Heartland, get the word out about this?
Well, we sent flyers home first, and then me and Taylor made posters and hung them up around the school to let people know, and they could also see it around as they walked around the school.
Wonderful. Good job. Okay. Maddie, how did Burkhead, how did you guys get the word out and collect supplies, get supplies collected at Burkhead?
Micah printed me off the supplies that we were collecting, and then I hung 3 of them in each hallway at our school.
Okay. And there's lots of hallways at Burkhead,
Yes.
right? And I think you did something else you're not thinking about. What?
I was on the morning news for our school.
You are on the morning news, and what else
And
did you do?
I sent out 2 one calls.
You sent out 2 one-calls, that's right. So the one-call system that Mr. Bender uses to let everybody know about different things going on at Burkhead, you guys did that, okay?
Yes.
All right, Jennings, tell us about some other things maybe at Lincoln Trail that these guys haven't talked about. Do you remember anything else that they didn't do? Why do you think you guys were so successful at this?
Well, we had a lot of flyers out in our school, and then we had the big chart with all the school supplies collected.
Okay. Taylor, why do you think at Heartland, why do you think you all were so successful with this project?
Probably because we went on our announcements, and we told who was in first place. Then the next day, we had loads. We had to take 3 carts. We had to go 3 trips.
So you had to make 3 trips with all the stuff, right? It took you 3 trips to get it all loaded. 3 carfuls.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. So what have you all learned from this? You'll be done with it. You're going to Houston here in a few days. What have you learned? It'll all be over then. When you come back, you'll be dog tired. I know you will. What will you have learned from this after this is over?
It's nice to help other people.
It's good to help others. Okay, Maddie, what are your thoughts? What do you take away from this project?
I take away helping others is the most important part of life.
That's exactly right. Faith, tell us what you take away, or what's the big thing you learned from this project?
Well, that it makes you feel good when you know you're helping other people, and it makes them feel good that you're helping them.
Okay, wonderful. Harper, what are your thoughts? What do you learn the most from this?
That it's good to help other people, because if this were to happen to us, then other people would probably do the same thing to help us.
Right, to help all of us. Okay, Parker, what do you take away from this big project?
That you can do so much more as a team, because we are a team, and we couldn't do, none of us could do this alone.
So you guys, I'm gonna ask you this. So Lincoln Trail and Creekside was in this project as well. There was a representative from Creekside. She just couldn't make it here today. But so you got 4 different schools together. You know, back when I was in school, there was this Mason. There was it's called what we call the Mason-Dixon line. Nobody helped anybody. You stayed in your walls, and nobody did anything to help. But you guys have done a lot to reach out. So why was it important to have kids from other schools helping this project?
Well, what was really important about the other kids was that we could get more things and be more successful in this project, and also more people could help, and more people could feel good that they helped.
That makes sense. All right, Anna Mae, what's your biggest thing that you learned or that you'll take away from this?
Going back to what Faith said, it makes you feel good when you help somebody out, when they are in like tough times, it really makes you feel good that you're helping somebody.
That's exactly right. Okay, Miley, what are your thoughts on that?
Helping other people is what you should always do.
That's exactly right. Okay, Kennedy, what's the biggest thing you learned from this project?
Helping other people.
Okay, good deal. What do you guys do now? What's the next step in this project?
We get the supplies to Texas, and we're going to Texas to see the teachers and like hand out the supplies, and we're actually setting up like a little shop where the teachers can kind of go through and see what they need.
Okay. Now, is everybody here going to Texas? Is everybody here? You're not going, but most everybody else is. Tell me about what you're excited, what you're most excited about. Anna Mae, are you going? Tell us what you're most excited about when you get down there to see.
I'm most excited about when I get there is I'm excited to see all the teachers and see how the success that they made to the school about the damage that they fixed.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Harper, what are you most excited about to see when you get there?
To see how much damage they did, and so that we know how much we are helping and how much the teachers need us to help them.
That's wonderful. All right, Faith, what are you most excited about?
I'm just excited to deliver the supplies personally to them.
Okay. And so, Maddie, Parker talked about kind of setting up a little store type deal. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the reactions on the teacher's face
Okay.
on how happy they are.
Awesome. Awesome. Jennings, what do you expect when you're thinking about going to Culture Elementary? What do you expect to see? What's in your mind right now about what you're going to see?
Half the school supplies gone, and because the teachers took most of it.
Okay, wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, Taylor, you guys collected more than what Coulter needs. Did you know that? You collected more supplies than what Coulter needs. So these guys are going to different, not only to Coulter, but to a couple of other places. So when you hear that, you collected more than you need, how does that make you feel?
Happy.
Happy. All right, guys. Anything else that anybody else wants to add before you're going to 3 elementary schools, that's right. So these guys have done a remarkable job. They have warmed the hearts of this community. We shared with a couple of adults involved in this project that they have the community has fallen in love with these young ladies and really embraced them because this is an initiative that these young ladies started. It was a project that one of their teachers asked, hey, can we maybe just think about doing a service project? And these guys have not only embraced the hearts of this community, but have gone on to reach out into Texas. So when we come back, we'll be talking with Micah Johnson, who's been an adult in this scenario that has really has helped. We've jokingly called him the agent for these young ladies, but we'll talk with him in just a second. Micah Johnson is the children's minister at Valley Creek Baptist Church and has been really kind of instrumental. He probably won't take the credit that he deserves for being the adult in this project, and somebody had to do it. So you were it. Talk about, Micah, the initiative that these young ladies have shown throughout this whole project.
Well, I went to Houston the week of the hurricane, and I got back and began talking to the kids at the church, and Faith Goodman was one of those kids, and then she was challenged by her GT teacher, Cindy Mahone, to do a project of some kind, and so she kind of picked up on the thoughts of Houston, and she her and Taylor Barno wanted to do a supply and book drive for those kids, and shortly thereafter, Parker Lally at Lincoln Trail Elementary School, she wanted to do something as well. Mm-hmm. And so we said, well, what if we teamed up on this project and we worked together instead of us doing 2 separate things? Mm-hmm. And so the Heartland Elementary School girls were excited about inviting Lincoln Trail on board and teaming up on that. And I asked Faith on a phone call one day, I was very impressed at the adult type of conversation I was having. Hey, do you want to invite some other schools? She said, we could probably help more people if we invited more. So we invited GC Burkhead and we invited Creekside, and so they've jumped on board. Since then, East Hardin Middle School has jumped in, and we actually have Morningside Elementary School. They've jumped in and done some stuff too. So their leadership, and I, like you said, I'm gonna step to the back and say these girls have led this project. They're doing such a great job, and really the first meeting we had, I looked back at my phone, September 15th was when they met for the first time on a Friday afternoon, and they didn't need us. The adults that walked in the room to help lead their meeting stepped back and watched, and they led their entire meeting by themselves and put all this together, created logos, created flyers, and we've just been support staff. All they need, I said, what do you need? And that's all we've been doing as parents and adults. Two of these kiddos are my daughters.
Right.
So it's special to me too.
Sure. Talk about the leadership qualities that you've seen. Obviously, they had a lot at the beginning, but that you've seen mature in the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Obviously, like you said, with GT, that's leadership driven. Taylor was in that for her artistic abilities, which we see in the T-shirt, and Faith was there for some of her leadership abilities. Parker has since been accepted into GT because they've seen her ability for leadership. We've seen really just their perseverance, their endurance as this has gotten difficult. They're talking about their love for scanning books and sorting things. They really did, but it was a lot. We had multiple work days where we would scan and sort for 2 or 3 hours each time, and so they worked hard throughout this whole project.
We have a school supply drive that's driven by a couple of companies, Bluegrass Cellular being one of those at the beginning of the year. And I would venture to say we've gotten as many supplies in September and October as that one does in July. Do you think it's because it has the face of those 9 to 10 students?
No, I've always challenged my personal kids. My oldest, she turned 10 today. And you know, I've had the desire for her to change the world. She had a T-shirt when she was really little to change the world, and I've always taught kids they don't have to wait till they're older; they can do it now. And I think that their face, their innocence, their young ability to be leaders has probably driven it more than if our adult faces were behind it and our abilities were there. I think there's something much bigger here than just raising some books and school supplies.
You as a children's minister, obviously around children a great deal, but you know, the old adage is, you know, I'm worried about the kids of today. I'm worried about our next generation. I think you and I would probably agree on this. I'm not.
I'm not. No, there's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of bad stuff going on, but these girls show you that this next group coming through is going to be all right. They're going to do good. I mean, these girls are 9 and 10-year-olds. They've recruited some younger ones. Harper's younger, Kennedy's younger. If they're doing this at 9 and 10 years old, imagine what they're doing when they're in high school and college and then in the workforce. I think we're going to be okay when we're older and we're sitting back relying on them to help take care of the world around us.
Right. Hardin County Schools, that's what makes Hardin County Schools a wonderful place, is just the leadership skills that are embraced by 9 and 10-year-olds at not only these 4 elementary schools, but all across our district. Great things are happening like this all across our district, and you can find out more just by visiting one of our local elementary, middle, or high schools. I'd like to thank my friend C.J. Carroll for helping us out with the technical side of today's show. And again, when you see these young ladies out in the community, when you see the adults that have embraced this project, just go up to them, thank them for their leadership, and not only helping this community, but helping communities all across our country. So thank you for watching.
I'm Sadie Atcher, and I'm from Creekside Elementary, and we are here packing up school supplies for Teaming Up for Texas Teachers. Cindy Mahone from Heartland Elementary got Faith Goodman to start Teaming Up for Texas Teachers, and we have collected school supplies, and I think this coming weekend they are going to be taking school supplies down to Texas to hand to the schools. Well, some of the simple ones are like pencils, clipboards, crayons, glue, some of the simple ones that kids would use at school. They don't have anything at their schools, and that they are in need of school supplies, and that they just don't have anything. So if I were in that situation, that they would probably do it too. And so it's just a nice thing that we are doing, and they are very glad we are doing it down in Texas. I've really enjoyed doing this, and I want to start something else and do something similar to this soon, and something similar, and try to give back to the community. I just thank everybody who has gave me the support and that's donated.
We're going to go take pictures with the stuff, get some video with the stuff so that we can begin loading it on the truck. Once we get pictures and video, I want you guys to finish sorting the stuff that's in here. Some of the boxes I told you to go ahead and tape up because everything that was coming in has come in, and I was a liar because Miss Goodman came in with a lot, Miss Helm came in with a lot, and so we got a lot of extra stuff that has come in. That's good? All right. Teaming Up for Texas Teachers would like to thank Bluegrass Cellular for their generous donation. Through your gifts, we were able to rent this Penske truck so we could get all the supplies to Texas. So,